Code of conduct.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown. I put in extra work that just can't be found. I took the sword out the stone, wasn't a thing. Look me in my eyes cause I'm a king. Look me in my eyes cause I'm a king. God made me punch in accurate numbers. My castle won't crumble. What I tackle will fumble. I've been a leader when they ain't see it, but now my feet is up. According to me, royalty didn't end with King Tut. Crown on my head, clouds is at my legs. Big says sky is the limit. I look down on the ledge. I push the bar like I'm opening a cell. Hands in my cookie jar, you won't come out with a single nail. I need all of mine. The weight of my shoulders won't fit on a scale. What's a king to a giant? Well, Goliath fell. Even if we playin' chess, dog, this king can't be checked. I make all my moves on the board, I invented my steps. I'm a king, the blood of a ruler. I feel like Mansa Musa. Make your squad disappear like landing by the Bermuda. Triangle, look at it from my angle. I'm a king, the closest thing to being one of God's angels. Yeah, I'm a king. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. I put in extra work that just can't be found. I took the sword out the stone, wasn't a thing. Look me in my eyes cause I'm a king. Look me in my eyes cause I'm a king.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. This is the Code of Conduct with the King podcast. I am your host, Jay Spence the King. And this is I don't even know what to call this Tuesday, but this is a fun Tuesday, I guess. It was the trade deadline happened today. So what's going on, Bills Mafia? It's one of those fun days. We get to talk about a couple things. I got a special guest joining me tonight. He's going to pop in here soon, Mr. Pacman Jones. Can't wait to talk to him about, first I want to talk to him about his Bengals, find out what the heck happened last night. Then I want to talk about kind of just the Buffalo Bills in the secondary. We brought Dean. We're going to talk about Dean Marlowe coming back. We're going to talk about a bunch of things. But let's talk about some of the news around the NFL real quick. I guess we can start off and we can stick with the Bills real quick. This is a hot one, I guess. Everybody is arguing with me on Twitter because I said I never questioned Brandon Beane. So I want to explain why I questioned him today about Nyheim Hines. First of all, I want to say Hines is a good football player. He's a good running back. I have no doubt that he's going to bring value to this team. That is not why I questioned the trade. Okay. I understand that Zach Moss was not performing up to the par that most Bills fans would have wanted him to see. I understand that, Zach Moss wasn't, I get it. Okay. So Nyheim Hines coming in for Zach Moss is obviously an upgrade. Zach Moss wasn't active for a game or two. He didn't have any carries this last game when he was active. So again, I get that from that perspective completely. This is where I question it. Over the last week and a half, the Buffalo Bills have been linked with Kareem Hunt. The Buffalo Bills have been linked with Alvin Kamara. Okay. I'm going to put it like this. From a pure football perspective, and you're looking at the talent and you're looking at what he brings to the table, this is a good move for the Buffalo Bills. As a fan, I am still allowed to be that. I am still allowed to be a fan. So as a fan, the emotion side of me is like, wait a minute. Y'all told me I was getting Kareem Hunt or Alvin Kamara. And that's not to say I will not love Hines. But it's 100% to say you had me excited for a player of the caliber of Kareem Hunt or Alvin Kamara. Now, can Nyheim Hines, can he be that player? I think so. Maybe not. This was supposed to be a breakout year for him because he was sitting behind Jonathan Taylor. So that's the reason why, like everybody said, this is the year. If you're going to add a RB2 to your roster for fantasy, this is the year to add Hines. He's going to do it. That's what everybody was saying during the offseason. If you do all your fantasy work and before you draft, everybody said, draft this guy. And then the running game in Indianapolis just hasn't looked good, period. Not just Hines. We haven't seen the Jonathan Taylor that we're used to seeing. So we're not used to it wasn't going to work either way there. So him coming here is definitely, it's an upgrade over Moss. It's definitely something that would benefit the team. Punt and kick return, y'all already know how I feel about that. So we're going to we're going to see what improvements this is. Shout out to everybody in the comments. Sarah says, reading Colts comments has me swung more in a positive direction. They seem to be, you know what? Everybody I spoke to from Indianapolis. Now, I lived in Indianapolis for about 5 years, and so I still have some good friendships there, some good relationships with family members and stuff like that out there. Listen, everybody from Indianapolis is bummed about this. Everybody. My man James said, I want us to go for Kareem Hunt. I'm with you. That's where I was. It's not a diss at Himes. It's not a diss at, it's like as a kid, you know what I mean? You're driving by McDonald's with your mom, and you're like, Mom, I want a Big Mac. She's like, we got food at home. And then you get home, and she tries to make you a burger, and the burger she makes looks nothing like a Big Mac because she puts it on the, I'm not going to talk mess about nobody's mama. My mama know how to make a burger, but you get my point. It don't look like a Big Mac. It don't come out looking like a Big Mac. That's not to say it's not food. That's not to say it ain't good for you. You get full. You got all the nutrition you need. It's everything that the Buffalo Bills need, and probably a little bit more. Because I didn't factor in, I 100% didn't factor in the punt, kick, return stuff. Yeah, my man Daryl says the Wonder Bread burger. You get the burger and then the edges. You want the round joint and got the little sesame seeds on top of it with the McDonald's ketchup is different than everywhere else's too. So it's just not the same. And David gets it. The burger on the bread, not the, but we get it in this chat. Shout out to my man Thomas. He said, "What's good, fam? Happy Tuesday." Charles said, "I love the Hines move. Helps us win now and adds depth for 2023." I'm with you. Shout out to my man Richard Rush in the building. Jason is in the building. Everybody. So y'all hear what I'm saying? The fan in me, I understand. I completely understand that, because I have this check mark on Twitter and because I have to, I report on certain things and I'm a reputable source, that I understand now it means that I can't have an emotional moment and ask a question. Screw that. I'm going to ask every question I want to ask because I feel like the amount of money, the amount of time, the energy, the passion, the emotion that we all put into this team, it's okay to ask a question. It's okay. And it's also okay to be disappointed. I was talking to my guy and he's like, "Man, you're crazy. You don't like the Hines trade." And he was sitting here trying to give me all these stats. He sent me all this other stuff, all these different posts, and he sent me a video of somebody saying that this guy is going to be explosive in the Bills offense and but all of this stuff. I get it. However, I'm still a man, and I'm gonna tell you what, as a man, I had a good night when I heard that we were even asking about, and I know we got rebuffed. I know it wasn't gonna happen, but when we were asking about a player like Alvin Kamara, that excited me on a whole different level. That excited me. Daryl said that $20 check mark. Yeah, man. Elon Musk is tripping. I'm gonna tell y'all what. If I gotta pay for this check mark, guess who ain't gonna have one? I might not even be on Twitter the way it's going. They talking about freedom of speech. The stuff that I've been seeing is free now. Is nothing that I want to be around. People calling me names that I ain't been called to my face in a long time. And now, the Twitter fingers get tough. I don't like it. Let's see. Matt C says, "Interesting. Never heard of this Hines guy." I'm going to tell you what. He's somebody that you should know about. He's been a good player. There's been special teams plays he's made. There's been plays in the run and pass game that he's made. The issue is for people who aren't fans of the Colts, you don't hear as much about him because Jonathan Taylor's there. And depending on who you talk to, Jonathan Taylor is a top 2, top 3 running back in the league. So, you don't hear about him. You don't get to see that stuff. And that's okay. That's okay. But let's talk a little bit more. Dean Marlowe, my guy. I was so depressed. Depressed might be a strong word, but I was sad when he went to Detroit. Then this past offseason, he makes his way down to Atlanta, and now he's back home. I saw that his wife tweeted out a picture or like just had a post showing excitement that she's coming back home. Buffalo, New York, Western New York, Orchard Park is home for players. They want to come back. And I felt for Dean. I know, obviously he wanted to get his bag. He wanted to get paid. And sitting behind Jordan and sitting behind Micah, you're not going to get the snaps, which means you're not going to get that check. So he went to do what was best for him and his family. But I'll tell you what, the grass ain't always greener. And now the Buffalo Bills are in a situation where we need We need some of that depth. We need somebody who knows, and this is the king. This is the thing. He already knows the system. So he comes in this weekend. He might not get the bulk of the snaps, but I guarantee you he's going to be right in that defense. Charles mentions Pat McAfee's reaction to the Hines trade. Yeah, he had quite the reaction. Thomas says Hines is a souped up McKissick. I don't know how. I can't disagree with that, but I don't know if I want to box him in by saying he's a souped up McKissick. I think McKissick, as a player, we know exactly who he is. I think Hines has been hidden behind a phenomenal player, so we haven't been able to see him really fulfill everything that he can do. Shout out to Triggs. Said definitely is a big threat in special teams. One things we've been missing since Andre, and y'all know how I feel about that man, Andre Roberts. Shout out to Andre Roberts. I miss him, man. I miss him. Y'all gonna have me cry on this show. I miss him. Stickman says OBJ coming soon. Talk that talk. Talk that talk. He coming. So, but like I said, Dean Marlowe's coming. He's gonna be right in the defense. He's gonna be right in the defense, and it's one of those things for me that it's exciting that a lot of people assumed that, and this is what the talk was prior to the year started, because I'm extend Jordan Poyer, re-up 21, pay Micah Hyde, and people were saying, well, they're getting older, you don't want to extend them, you don't want to do this, you don't want to do that. And then these two guys go out. This past Sunday, obviously, we didn't have Micah. Jordan gets hurt, second quarter, I believe. Then all of a sudden, or third quarter, I believe, maybe. And then it seems like the first drive that Poyer is out, that's when Aaron Rodgers decides to go deep, scores a touchdown over the defensive backs. And I'm not saying it to say that Jordan Poyer has never given up a touchdown. I'm not saying it to say that Micah Hyde has never given up a touchdown. They got beat before. But what I will tell you, over the last couple of years, you don't see it often. You don't see it often. Now, in the defense of Jaquan Johnson and the defense of DeMar Hamlin, those guys have been playing very well without Jordan and Micah in. When they've had to, when those two guys as a combination have had to play, Miami, for instance, Tua Tagovailoa did not beat us with his arm. Somebody talked about getting beat by Jalen Waddle earlier. Yeah, Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill is beating everybody in the league. There's a reason why Tyreek Hill is leading the league in reception yards, or receiving yards, I should say, because that's what he's doing. He's that type of beast. So all I know is I'm happy to have Dean back, but I also believe that these young guys still need some type of veteran presence back there. Now, I think Jordan's going to play, or I think he's healthy, I should say. I don't know if he'll play this weekend. I hope he does. But I think with it being the Jets, and I hope there's Jets fans in here because I'm going to talk my talk tonight. With it being the Jets, I think Jordan and the team probably feels like, well, we might be able to kind of let him rest up and let the arm heal up a little bit more. We haven't heard the MRI results, but he's going to be back. He's going to be back. Trigg said, hell, Tre White didn't give up a TD last season before he got hurt, but people never talk about that. You know who do talk about Tre White? Shout out to my man EJ from PFF. He always talks about how Tre White apparently gets beat by elite receivers, but he doesn't talk about how Tre White didn't give up a touchdown last season and he went against elite receivers before he went down. He doesn't talk about how Tre White is an all-pro. He doesn't. Shout out to my man EJ. All love. I just got to get him when I can get him. My man Daryl says, love Marlowe and Hamlin more than Hamlin and Johnson if JP can't go. I agree. I do like Johnson, though. I agree because Marlowe has the experience and he's been in this system for some time. And he's somebody that, when he wasn't called on often, but when he was called on back then, when he was in Buffalo, there was zero drop-off. Zero drop-off. Shout out to my homegirl, Tia Stale. I miss my sister. She says, I like this move. Just another weapon for Josh, a speedy back. Now, I like the move. We're back on Hines. Everybody in the comments wants to talk about Hines. So I like the move. But this is what I feel like also I'm hesitant to jump on board and say I really love it. I'm hesitant to jump on board and say I really love it because I feel like the last couple of games, especially this last game, we're finally starting to see James Cook warm it up. We're starting to see him cook. And the thing is, if Hines does pretty much a similar thing to what Cook does, I don't want him taking snaps from him. Now, Charles in the comments mentioned, imagine going out 22 with Diggs, Gabe, Knox, Cooks, and Hines going empty. It's a wrap. Now, if you're going to do something like that where you put two elusive running backs out there, I tell you what, that's something beautiful to look at. There's no way I'm going to be upset about an offense like that, because what you're doing is you're taking the pressure off of Josh. Those guys cannot be covered. Cook, they can't cover Cook. They can't cover Diggs. They can't cover Gabe. And Hines, everything that I've seen and now everything that I'm hearing, you can't do it. So I'm 100%, I'm thrilled about it. I'm thrilled about it. I just want to see what Ken Dorsey is going to do. Now, Ken Dorsey has answered every question that we have as an offensive play caller. Every single question. So coming into the season, I remember everybody, is Ken Dorsey going to be good enough? Is the Bills defense going to take a step back because we don't have Brian Daboll calling the plays anymore? And to me, I see Josh Allen looking like an MVP more than the year that he was the runner-up for MVP. I see this offense flowing. Now, we haven't been as successful in the red zone as we have been in the past, but that doesn't matter because we're still winning games and we're blowing teams out. Speaking of that, let's rewind. Let's rewind. Normally, I start the show off and I talk about the game and I talk about the whole thing. So before I do that, I do have to say you're listening to this show in every show in the Buffalo Vidcast or Buffalo Rumblings Vidcast Network, presented by Picasso's Pizza. Treat yourself to the most flavorful pizza on game day, Picasso's. We are Buffalo Pizza, shipping local and nationwide. Order online at picassopizza.net. So the Buffalo Bills beat the Green Bay Packers 27-17. We just missed the spread. Whatever. If you're a bettor, I'm sorry that you didn't, that we didn't do it. As a Bills fan, to beat Aaron Rodgers by 10 points at home on Sunday Night Football under the bright lights, I'm with that. I'm with that. And regardless of what anybody wants to say and how bad we want to talk about it, listen, Josh throwing 2 interceptions and still winning by 10 points, I just don't see how mad we can be about that. I don't see how mad we can be about that. Yes, we want Josh to take care of the ball. So I'm not saying don't be upset about the turnovers. What I'm saying is after the game, you would have thought that we lost the game by 40. You go on Twitter or you go on Instagram or you go on any of these social media sites, Facebook, and you would have thought that we lost the game by 40 points. When in reality, the Buffalo Bills actually look good besides those 2 turnovers. I don't understand why we were so down and why we were so upset. For the record, I understand that everybody going into the game is like, Green Bay hasn't been that good. They lost to the Jets and they did. But guess what? That's Aaron Rodgers. That's Aaron Rodgers. I don't care who they're going against. Any given Sunday, that dude can make a throw that'll make you be like, damn, that dude he is that guy. He's that guy. And coming into the game, the Packers had the number 1 passing defense in the NFL. And I was one of the ones talking talk. We won by 10. So I talked enough and the Bills backed it up for me. But I was one of the ones talking talk. They ain't faced nobody like Josh. They ain't faced Stephon Diggs. And guess what? Diggs had a day. They couldn't cover Diggs. And they couldn't cover Josh. Those 2 interceptions, the first one was just an extremely bad decision. It wasn't like they outsmarted him. It wasn't Sugar High Josh. Can I say that again? It was not Sugar High Josh. Sugar High Josh was back in the day when Josh would snap the ball and then somebody would break through the line and then he's running backwards. He runs 25 yards behind the line of scrimmage, tries to get out of a tackle, and then tries to run somebody over and then fumbles the ball on our side of the field so that way they get the ball back with only 30 yards to go. That's Sugar High Josh. Or he runs backwards and throws an interception across the field and another guy runs it back for a pick 6. That's Sugar High Josh. That's not what this was. The second interception, actually, to me, it looks like, and I watched the All 22. I watched the game film. I watched the broadcast over. I feel like Josh was trying to throw it into the dirt, but homie just made him. Jair Alexander just made a wonderful play. He made a wonderful play. You can't be mad at. I'm mad at Josh about that. Throw it out of bounds. I'm also mad there was a play where Josh, he took a sack. He ran out of bounds. It was like 3rd and 12 or second, something like that. I can't remember the exact play, but it was just questionable decision making from Josh that game. But that's not sugar high, Josh. Y'all gonna chill putting these labels on my quarterback. That's my dog. Y'all gonna chill on that. Y'all gonna chill. And can we please keep giving my man Devin? Now I know we just made the trade, but can we please keep giving Devin Singletary the ball? The last 2 games that we've seen him be the feature running back, we've seen the run game move the ball well enough that Josh doesn't have to overdo it. When Josh is running and when Josh has to do, throw for 350, 3 touchdowns, and run for 80 yards, that's when he's doing too much to me. We need to save him for the end of the season. And right now, that's not what I'm seeing, or prior to those games. These last 2 games, he's able to hand the ball off to Devin, and Devin's running off a couple big runs here, big runs there. He's also doing the methodical thing where he gets 5 yards, and the pile keeps going. It looks like he stopped for a 3-yard gain, and it ends up being 6 yards. He's running hard. He's running hard. So now I don't know what's going to happen with Hines coming in. I don't know. But I would like to see Devin still get the ball because he deserves that, man. He's playing in a way this is the best season that he's having for his career. Now, it could be because the couple games that we decided to give him the ball like this. Keep giving it to him. Keep giving it to him. Shout out to my man Stephon Diggs. Did I tell y'all or did I not tell y'all? And I know it might not even be a hot take. But prior to the season, I said, listen, Diggs is going to be the best receiver in the league by the end of the year. Low key, I felt like he was already the best receiver in the league at the beginning of the year, but he had to put some things on film. And now it's just evident that nobody can guard him. Nobody can cover him. Every single game, he's out there eating, and it don't matter who's covering him. It don't matter what the game plan is. It don't matter if they're playing zone. It don't matter if they're playing man. It don't matter if they're trying to double him. It don't matter if they have a bracket. It don't matter. It don't matter. He's eating. And you know what I love about him and Josh Allen's relationship? Josh understands when Steph is in a mode. When he's in that mode, he's like, okay, it's time. Let me get him the ball. You can see Steph, from the jump, he's running out the tunnel talking stuff to Jair Alexander. But more so in that second half, we saw Josh say, we're going to get the ball to Diggs because he's about to eat. And what'd he do? Touchdown. Shout out to my man Jason Aponte. Listen, if y'all need some good 49ers content, make sure on Twitter y'all go follow my man Jason Aponte. He is one of my favorite content creators, and I mean this in the entire world. Not just 49ers. This dude could cover whatever he want, and I'm gonna tune in. He's that doggone good. Go follow my man Jason Aponte. He says Berman Bow is back on in Glendale, bro. You already know. I'm still mad at y'all for getting Christian McCaffrey, man. I need that. But see, we got Hines. I was really looking forward to hearing that we was gonna get Hunt or Kamara, but it's okay. Either way, we seeing y'all, man. We seeing y'all. I can't wait for that. Y'all got a link. You and Jordan got to come out here. I might catch a Suns game too, so I could take Jordan to see my man CP3. He be talking all that talk. Let's see. I'm trying to get some more comments in here. My man Daryl says that it's Motor's salary year, so who knows? He might ask for more. It's the best year, but I don't think he'll. Even if I don't think he's going to ask for a whole lot. I think the type of money that he's looking for, he hasn't had a long enough stretch where he's playing the games that he's playing in order to really get paid like a top running back. So even if I don't think he's going to get paid with us now, this trade, I think the contract that Hines has, I just can't see it being both. Now, I don't think the contract is guaranteed, so they can restructure it and do some things, but I don't know. I don't see Motor either getting the money with us or staying with us, which is unfortunate because I love Motor. I love Motor. Okay. Can we talk about Groot for a second? Let's talk about how Groot is growing up in a whole different way before our eyes. This dude Groot, and I'm sorry, I just got a message, so I guess I'm gonna have to reschedule with my man's co-host of I Am Athlete. He's not gonna be able to join me tonight. We're gonna get him back on here. So I'm gonna talk for maybe another 5-10 minutes. We're gonna get on out of here, but I do want to hit some more points, and then I'm gonna let everybody know when I can reschedule Adam Pacman Jones. We're gonna get him on here. But the most impressive thing for me about what I've seen from Von Miller coming to this team, obviously he's getting the sacks. The defensive line is getting to the quarterback without the need to blitz a lot. I get it, but I tell you, the thing that I'm loving the most is the growth of the other players around him. Groot is doing his thing. Like Groot don't look like the dude that I saw last year. He don't look like the dude. He looks like the dude in Miami. And the thing that's funny about that is it was clear that he was just more developed. He was longer, he was taller and faster than everybody. So what he was doing to defensive linemen down there, yeah. And now he's doing this on a professional level. And the leap that he's taken, man, it's so impressive. It's so impressive. And it's one of those things where, you can't put a value on signing a guy like Von Miller. Like, yeah, that's a lot of money to give a guy in his 30s. That's a lot of money, blah, 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 right? Guess what? He got the sacks that we wanted. And on top of him getting the sacks that we wanted, he's also bringing these other dudes up. My man Richard Russ says Groot is going to end up with a double-digit sack season. Yes, the hell he will. Yes, the hell he will. Groot is doing it like that. And we got to love on him, man. We got to love on him for the right reasons. So if anybody's going to the game this weekend, make sure when he gets it, because he's going to get a sack. He's going to get a sack. So when he do, make sure y'all hit him with that Groot. Give it to him. Give it to him. Let's pray for my man Poyer. I know I talked about him a little bit earlier when I was talking about Dean Marlowe being signed. Let's pray for him. I don't know the extent of his injury. I know in a post-game interview, he said that he felt like he heard a pop in his elbow. So I don't know how that is. I don't know how much that's gonna hold him back, or how much, if he's gonna miss any time, or if he's gonna play. I feel like I saw another post from Rachel Bush. His wife said that he's gonna be all right. He just got to keep his brace on. But then right after that, they did an MRI. So I don't know what the results of the MRI are, but we'll see. And then 2 more points, and then like I said, we're gonna get on out of here. Y'all not about to bully me. Y'all not about to bully me. And y'all know where I'm going. Y'all not going to bully me, okay? I love this dude. I love Tremaine Edmonds. So when I give him some love, I'm going to give him some love. And I'm not going to let y'all tell me I can't give him love. After the game Sunday, I celebrate him because not only did he have 16 tackles, but I saw a lot of good things when I watched that film back. You want to ask me one of the things that I saw him being decisive. I saw him making plays that maybe he didn't make the tackle, even though he led the team in tackles with 16. Maybe he didn't quite make the play that it looked like he should have made to you, but his presence there made the play go in a different direction. And that is something that I think is very undervalued when it comes to who Tremaine Edmonds is and what he provides for this team. Tremaine Edmonds is that dude. And I'm going to give him the love because I want him to stay here next year. All this talk about, I even heard somebody before the trade deadline, and I just had to block him. I ain't even mute him. I'm going to be honest with you. So yeah, maybe we trade Tremaine Edmonds for a running back. What? Saw somebody else say, let's trade Tremaine Edmonds for a 2nd and a 5th. What? Get out of here. Nah, I love my dog Tremaine. Love my dog Tremaine. So let's go ahead and get ready to get on out of here. I'm looking at the comments here. Some people keep up the great work. Thank you. I'm not the NR Hour Sports Show. Let's link. Let's talk. Appreciate you. Man, Daniel, agree, Daniel. He's having a good season, group. Yeah. A lot of good stuff, man. Tre is back. I glossed over that. Wait, before I get out of here, Tre White is back. I glossed over that. Now, let me temper your expectations, Bills Mafia. Let me make sure I set your expectations. We got an all-pro cornerback coming back, but I do not want you to put the pressure on Tre'Davious White to be an all-pro player right away. When you tear your ACL, whether it's football, whether it's basketball, soccer, any sport, I want you to understand that most times, unless you're Adrian Peterson, most times when you come back, you're not really your full self until the following year. So typically it's a 2-year injury, but you're healthy enough to come back and play after the first year. Tre White is back, but go easy on him. If he misses a step here or there, if he gets beat for a first down here or there, let's just give him some time to get his feet under him, get his legs under him. The game speed cannot be simulated. I don't care how much you practice. I don't care how much you run around. Sarah says she thinks that he will still be inactive this week. I tend to agree with you, Sarah. I don't think that they're going to activate him this week, but he is off the physically unable to perform list. Daniel says Isaiah Hodgins was released. He was released. I was texting with Joe Miller earlier, and I told him, I'm like, man, maybe you should hit your guy Isaiah up. You know, Joe and Isaiah Hodgins are friends. So I told him, I'm like, why don't you hit him up and have his agent reach out to Green Bay? They need a receiver. They need a receiver. You would have thought that he would have reached out, that they would have reached out for Claypool, which I'm hearing that they did, but Pittsburgh decided that they felt like the Browns draft pick might be better than the Packers in the second round, be a higher. So we'll see. But they need to do something. They need to help Aaron Rodgers. Because what I saw last week, you know, there's no way that Sammy Watkins can be your best weapon for Aaron Rodgers and you think you're going to win games. No way. No way possible. So this weekend, we go into East Rutherford and we face the Jets. We are opening up at a 12.5-point favorite. Let me just tell y'all, this ain't even the Packers. Like the Packers, I was trying to pay some respect to Aaron Rodgers and who he is and what he can do and how the team just kind of sometimes they put it together at certain points of the season. This ain't that. This the Jets. We about to smack these boys. Just want y'all to know, if y'all go into the game, I want y'all to enjoy it, make noise, be as loud as possible. Because the Jets don't deserve to feel like they can compete with us. They don't deserve to feel like they can compete with us. So I want y'all to make as much noise as possible. Go in there and dog walk them. We gonna dog walk them. I need Josh. If you got him on your fantasy, this is the time for the fantasy. We gonna get the 4 touchdown game out of Josh this weekend. We gonna get it. We gonna get it. So look, I'm gonna get on out of here. Y'all know how I do it. I'm going to update everybody with when Pacman can get in. It'll probably be next Tuesday now since it wasn't this week, but we'll make it happen. Listen, y'all love each other. Take care of each other and live in peace. As always, stay positive, test negative. Go Bills.
Code of conduct.